Welcome back to our conversation with Harris County Judge Lina Hidalgo. We've been discussing her mental health journey. We're also going to talk about politics a bit. Election day was last week. We've got a runoff coming up on December the 9th between State Senator John Whitmire and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. You were at Congresswoman Jackson Lee's watch party. You've been a supporter of hers. And that leads to a question of mine for you. Of course, you're free to support whoever you want. But what kind of concern is there on your behalf if Senator Whitmire wins, and now he's going to have to deal with the county judge who was against him in the main election? Yeah,
it's a fair point, and trust me, I thought about that before I came out and endorsed the Congresswoman. It was something I took very seriously. Obviously, if Senator Whitmire is elected, I will work to build that relationship and for us to work together, and I hope he would do the same, because that is how the county and the city do their best work. However, it's very important to me that we have politicians who are honest. And when I was up for re-election last year, he was one of the folks, he said, is insinuating that I defunded the police, right? That was the line against me. Of course, now this side of re-election, nobody's talking about it anymore. So he well knows I'm trying to give over $50 million worth of pay raises to law enforcement. And yet, you know, all my detractors and opponents and him are saying this. I think he thought I was going to lose, and he knew that was a good rally cry. What that tells me is he's willing to say anything. And at the time they said, well, you know, why would the chair of the Criminal Justice Committee in the Senate, who is a Democrat, why would he say that? I said, well, because he's running for mayor, and he thinks this is going to help him. So that's what sealed it for me, Cambrell, is if you're willing to say anything, you're also willing to do anything. And with Trump, we've learned how dangerous that is. On the flip side, I've known the Congresswoman for many years. She works extremely hard. Nobody's perfect, but she's so devoted, and she tells it like it is. And she does things for the right reasons, for her community. And I already have a relationship with her, so that would be fantastic. We work so well together, just as well as I work with Mayor Turner, and I'm so thrilled he's endorsed her too, and I'm so confident she's the best choice.
Well, I'm glad you answered that question. I want to ask you before you go. We talked a little bit about the fact that when you run into people, a pet peeve or something that people say, and it's just wrong, and it's just not the right thing. Talk about that a little bit, about when people say, hey, just cheer up, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you know, when I was feeling very depressed, and as I said, the folks, you know, around me could see it. Anybody who sat across from me and said, Lina, how are you? And really asked me, I would start crying, you know? But the response I got was constantly, cheer up. You're so lucky. Look at the great life you have. You know, people would meditate more, exercise more, come to church. Somebody gave me a book of joy, you know, like how to be more joyful. And what I want folks to know, and I don't blame them, you know, they didn't know. I would have probably said the same thing if somebody had come to me saying, I'm sad, but I've got this great life. And what I want folks to learn, that I learned, is, you know, ask people to go to the doctor, to seek care, to call the crisis line. You know, if somebody's telling you they feel suicidal, the answer is go see a psychiatrist, call the crisis line right now. So that's what I want to encourage folks to know.
Thank you, Judge Hidalgo. Thank you for your time this morning. Great to see you back, advocating for mental health. Good to see you doing that, being a front line advocate for that. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good luck moving forward.